Greetings, students. Dr. Heron here. This is a brief video to give you some information that I want to share with all students. This will be something that you should look at before our individual meetings, which the manatees are meeting in the next couple of days, and the bulls will be meeting shortly after that. I will be in touch with you to set up the times for those meetings, but manatees, you already know when your meetings are. Let's take a quick look at this. I will not be going over this during the individual meetings. I want you to look at it now so that we can save time and just do the couple of things that we need to do during our meetings. Okay, we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing in the check-ins, what they are. We're going to talk a little bit about spring planning and long-term planning, and this is effective for bulls and manatees. Not sure if I have any general notices for you, but there are a couple of things there. And then if you have questions, I want you to write those down or record them somewhere. And when you have your individual meeting with me, we can certainly talk about those. And for those of you who are manatees, we will do the academic check-in then. Okay. So these check-ins for manatees, and actually I'm doing it for the bulls as well, but not quite as in depth. It's going to be about once a month. These will be in person. Okay. Those of you who are in your second year, we did those remotely last year. We're doing all these meetings in person. Please make sure you wear, those of you who are coming from off campus, please make sure you wear a mask, that you sign in as a visitor, and you come to my office room 104 for those meetings. They will take generally no more than 15 minutes. I will do everything that I can to stay on schedule the day that we have the meetings, but it's very important that you be here in order for us to make these meetings and keep up with everything that's going on. I will go in, for those of you who are manatees, we'll log into my SCF on my computer, we'll look at your grades, and I will save the file. Please be aware that your parent will be contacted if you have a D or an F in a class. They are a part of your education. They need to know this, and the SCF grades are not in focus. So I will be contacting your parents if you do have a D or an F. Hopefully you don't. It is not to get you in trouble. It is to have more parental support for you to be successful in your classes. So that is what happens in those individual check-ins. Those of you who are manatees, I will want you to log into your Bayshore account and look at your schedule in Focus to confirm that the classes on your Bayshore schedule match the ones you're taking at SCF. That being said, as of, actually it's dated tomorrow, but as of the 13th, I have not entered that information. I need to write it down, get it to the registrar, and she will enter it. Once she has entered it, I will send a message out to the manatees for you to go in and check and make sure that the classes you're taking at SCF are listed on your Bayshore schedule. So I'll send you a remind message about that. So for everyone, when we're planning for spring, and it is time to go ahead and start thinking about spring, the deadline, which we'll get to, I believe, is November 29th for everything. There are a couple of steps we need to take. But spring registration is done under the assumption that you're going to earn a C or better in all fall college classes, and that you will still have a qualifying GPA. If either of those are not met, if you have a D or an F, or if your GPA falls below the requirement, you cannot take college courses for one semester at either school. So please make sure you maintain your grades as you're going through, and we'll talk a little bit about things you can do to help with that in a minute. Those of you who are bulls, if you are taking ENC 1101, you will automatically go into ENC 1102. There's no need for you to register. Same thing for the American History. AMH 2010 will automatically roll into AMH 2020. If you want to add courses at SCF in the spring, you should complete the application if you have not already. Most of the bulls actually completed the SCF application too. So if you have that username and password, and we can check on that when we do our individual meetings, if you already have that, you do not need to register again. But there will be that you will need to take care of the other things that we do, completing the contract and requesting courses. If you want to add courses at SCF in the spring, actually, I'm not going to do a feedback form when I speak to you individually. I'm going to get that information at that meeting. We are going to be going back to using the approval form. Those of you who have been in courses for a couple of years, I don't think we did approval forms last year, but we're going to do that this year. When you have your meeting in September, I'm going to be giving you the approval form. You select which courses you want to take. You shouldn't take more than 3 at SCF unless you are ADE, which is Accelerated Dual Enrollment, or EA, which is Early Admission. Those people who are over there full time will take more than 3 classes generally. I am going to give you the planning guide, a physical copy of it. I will not be giving you all the pathway lists. Those are available in LiveBinder, which is in our Schoology groups. Okay. And we can look at how to search for classes and the online book form. I will pass that out later. As far as how to search for classes, I'm going to do that a little later. I won't be doing that in this presentation. I just want you to know what we're doing. So in selecting courses, you use the AA for Transfer Guide. It's going to be in LiveBinder, which is part of our Schoology information in Schoology resources. But you also will have a physical copy of it. The pathway course lists are in LiveBinder. And then the course catalog and registration planner are both part of the SCF website, scf.edu. So that's where you go to get information about registering. When we look at the AA for Transfer Guide, this is the first half of a 4-year degree. This is their equivalent of the graduation requirements that we have for Bayshore High School, which you see in the curriculum guide every year. But there are certain areas and there are certain numbers of credits you need to complete. Area 1 is communications. You need 9 credit hours. And as you know, when you're taking college courses, basically each course is going to be 3. Some are more credit hours, some are 4 or 5, but most courses are 3 credit hours. So when you look at that area of communications, you need 3 courses to meet those. That's ENC 1101, ENC 1102, and speech. Area 2 is mathematics. You need 2 courses. Social science, you need basically 2 courses. Humanities, 2 courses. Humanities are all the things that make us human: art, philosophy, music, literature, those kinds of things. So when you look at that list of courses, you will see religion, philosophy. I think I already said that. But anyway, so you will choose 2 of those courses to take. And then natural science, which is what we would think of as science, biology, chemistry, environmental science, marine science, those kind of things. Those are natural sciences. And then you need 27 credit hours of electives, which are just not just random courses. They're going to be courses that you select to get you better prepared for whatever your college major might be. And so as you get farther down the list, it becomes a little more specific as to which courses you need to take. There are a total of 60 credit hours in order for you to complete the AA. Most students in early college don't complete the entire AA. Some students who do early admission will complete the AA, but not all. If you go part-time all through high school, you will not be able to finish it all, but you can get a good bit of it finished while you're in high school. Additional requirements. The Gordon Rule courses, those are courses that are heavy in writing. ENC 1101 and 1102 are the 2 of the Gordon Rule courses, and then you take 2 others. And then 2 international intercultural courses. And those are marked on the AA guide with different markings. And so you'll see those on there. So when you're looking through the course catalog and trying to find courses, you use your planning guide. You see what courses are there. You also need to look at the courses that are part of the different pathways. And then you go and look at the courses themselves, look at academics and then catalog, and you enter the letters and numbers for the course, click on that magnifying glass, and then you'll see a list of courses. You click the name of the course and you'll have a description. Some of the descriptions are better than others, but you'll have a description of the courses. You need to think carefully because these are courses that you're going to be taking during all of spring semester or whatever semester you're applying for. So please make sure that you think very carefully. You don't just sign up for a course. Oh, this one's a good one. If you hear that from someone, don't trust that. You need to look and see what exactly is in the course. And then registration planner. When you're in My SCF, you log in and you can see it there, or you can just click class schedule under the admissions tab on the main website and then click online class search and then browse classes by term. And that way you can see the courses that are offered, what times and days they are offered. Remember that unless you're full time at SCF, you must take courses that are early in the morning, like 8 o'clock, or in the afternoon that start at 12:30 or later. So please be very careful when you're selecting those courses and when you want to take them. Our timeline starting September 15th is when you will research your classes to take and you'll make your plans in MySCF. Registration begins October 4th. Most of our students will be able to register October 7th. You are allowed to register based on the number of credit hours you have. Those students who are ADE, if you have already completed 30 credit hours, you can register on Tuesday, I believe it is. But you can look at on their website and they'll tell you uh, for what date you'll be able to register. We'll be having our second meeting for early college the October 13th through 15th. We're going to do that individual check-in again, but I also want to look and see what you have registered for. So please be registered by that time. Don't wait. Even if you're not certain you're going to take classes or you're not certain you're going to survive with academically, go ahead and register. We can always take you out of the courses later if we need to, but let's go ahead and get registered. Um, Later in the semester, you will get a link for the spring 2022 book request form. I will send that out on Remind. And as I said before, November 29th is our deadline for registration and completing that book form. You'll get more reminders of this, but this is just sort of the big picture to see when each one of these things happens. So let's talk about this. If you're having problems with a class, and this is for manatees or bulls, okay? Our goal when you're taking college courses is to finish with an A or a B, nothing lower. If you have one C in there, we're okay. Otherwise, you really need to have all A's and B's. Options if you're struggling. Number one, speak to the teacher. Your professor or teacher is the first person you should speak to if you're having a problem. They can help you with approaches to being successful in the class. You can ask them about things that you should do to improve your work. They're the first place to start. Students who are going to classes at SCF, please be aware of the ARC, the SCF ARC, the Academic Resource Center. It's in Building 5, Room 111. They have assistance and materials with almost every class that is taught at SCF. So go to the ARC if you're having problems. Form a study group where if you're with a group of people, other friends, you can work with them, work together to help learn the material. The biggest thing that I run into is people who don't have good time management. Reevaluate your time management. Look over the course of a few days and see how much time you're spending working on a class. You should plan to spend 2 to 3 hours outside of class reading, studying, and doing those assignments. This is not, a lot of high school courses, you do the work in class and that's all you really need to do. With this, you really do have to commit that time. If you need some resources to reevaluate your time management, talk to me about that in our individual meeting. I can give you some things to sort of help you with that a little bit. If for some reason you're still not successful in the courses, our withdrawal deadline for Manatee courses is November 8th. Don't remember off the top of my head when the deadline is for the USF courses, but it's in that general vicinity of time. When we do our individual meetings, if you need to know that date, I'll look it up for you. Please remember that if you withdraw from a course, you cannot participate in college courses for one term. So withdrawing from a course should not be taken lightly. You need to try every one of these options to try to be successful in the course. So just a couple of general things. Please make sure you are listening. If I post a notice, if I have an announcement, make sure that you listen so that you understand what your responsibilities are. When I send things out, please read them very carefully. Don't gloss over them. and hope that somebody else will understand what you need to understand. So please read it carefully. Um, Again, follow your teacher's instruction. If you listen to what they say, they will tell you what you need in order to be successful in the class. If you are running into problems, please speak up. That's really important. We can't fix an issue if we don't know there's an issue, and that goes for your teachers as well. Make sure you're doing everything you should in class and turning in your work, and then ask for help if you don't understand what's going on. If you're not doing your classwork or homework, well, there's the answer right there. So please make sure that you are doing that work. But speak up if you need assistance. Be proactive. Keep yourself organized. Use a planner or a calendar. I've been giving out a number of meeting dates and times. Hopefully, you have written those in your calendar. If you organize yourself, you will not feel as overwhelmed and you'll be able to keep track of everything that you need to do. This is a skill you're going to need a whole lot as an adult, so go ahead and start working on that now. No excuses. Make sure you are on top of things. Make sure you listen. Make sure you're paying attention and completing the work that's needed. And I like this quote. It is only when you take responsibility for your life that you discover how powerful you truly are. So please make sure you discover that power this term over this year as you're finishing up high school. Take responsibility, do the things that you need to do. Okay? Couple of general announcements here. Meeting 2 for our manatees for fall. It's going to be October 13th through 15th. I found out there is a conflict with October 13th, so I'm going to have to adjust those meetings, or at least most of those meetings. I'll be communicating with you individually as I need to make those changes. Meeting 3, which is optional, is going to be November 2nd through 3rd. That's going to be mainly for the students who are struggling. But if you need to have a meeting at that time as well, that's fine. And then meeting 4 for our manatees, December 14th. You'll be coming to my office and we'll be printing your SCF grade reports. Again, a reminder, materials that I send out, I'm always going to post them to Schoology resources and then click on Live Binder, and that will have all of the information that you need. All right. If you have questions, please make sure that you write them down or record them somewhere so that when we have our individual meetings, I can answer those for you. All right. And then we will talk individually during our meetings. Most of them will be Wednesday, the 15th of September. Some will be other times. But thank you very much for your time, and I will see you soon.